What's up guys, Jivan back with another video. Today's video we're going to be talking about when points reset, how can you get to champs the fastest. We're going to talk about the best game modes, best strategies, and how you can prepare for when arena points reset. Before we hop into this video, please consider using code JivanTV in the Fortnite item shop, or at least make sure you're using somebody's code because it helps us out a ton. Without further ado, let's get into this video. First thing we're going to talk about is which game mode should you be playing to get points the fastest. Now, solos is the hardest mode to get dubs. The reason is only 1 out of 100 players wins a game, versus in duos 1 out of 50 teams wins, and trios 1 out of 33 teams win. But the thing is, solos is actually the easiest place to gain arena points. Reason is you get more points per kill, and it's easier to reach that placement threshold. Usually, you'll hit that placement threshold earlier in the game in solos than duos, and you'll get it earlier in duos than trios. So to rank the game modes in order from easiest to hardest to gain arena points, it goes solos, duos, trios. I myself am going to be grinding solos for the first solid week, and maybe some duos in there. That doesn't mean you can't play trios. Obviously, it's going to be really good practice if you do play trios in early season, especially if you're planning to compete in the trio events later in the season. But to get arena points the fastest, solos is the wave. So next question that commonly gets asked, should you be W King? Is that the move to get points the fastest? The answer is you can W key if that's one of your strengths. Me personally, I'm going to be W King from Division 1 through 5. Once I get to Division 6, I'm going to be playing a little bit safer. I'm still going to be taking mid-game fights, but I'm going to be making sure that I'm putting myself in a good position to win the games. I'm not going to be taking storm fights. I'm most likely going to be aiming to take my fights on dead side of zone. This is the side of zone with the least amount of players, and I'm going to be making sure that I get all the way into zone before taking my fights. Because once you get to Division 6, it's going to be a little bit sweatier because in early season, usually the only players that get to Division 6 at the rate that I do are going to be the pro players. So I got to realize all these fights that I'm going to be taking are going to be really sweaty. Oftentimes they're going to be against pro players. And so that means that they might take a little longer than usual. And if I don't rotate to zone before taking these fights, then I might get stuck in zone. And that puts you in a bad position to win the game. Once I get to Division 7, I'm going to be playing these games like a cash cup. The reason is the queue times are often pretty long for Division 7, and that's because not very many people get to Division 7 very fast. So for the first week or two of the season, Division 7 is going to be pretty sweaty and pretty stacked, which means that it's going to be harder to hit those placement thresholds and harder to gain points. So you want to try to make the most out of every single game. The way you want to approach this is be sure that you're landing pretty safe. You might have 1 or 2 people contesting you off spawn if you're landing at a good outskirt spot. If you're not very good at early game, definitely check out my early game season 7 video. It'll help you find a drop spot, help you survive off spawn more, all of that. But yeah, in Division 7 and beyond for the first few weeks, I'll be landing safe, early rotating, making sure I'm in a good position to win each game because that'll help you gain arena points faster, play more consistently, stop losing bus fares, and overall consistency is key in gaining arena points fast. Almost all my kills are just going to come from early game and end game. And then I'm going to be rotating dead side. Dead side rotates are going to be crucial. And then maybe I'll pick a fight on dead side of zone, but other than that, just focusing early game and end game, just like in a cash cup. One thing to keep in mind is when you're early rotating, you gotta make sure that you're ready to fight because you might get pushed at any moment. So always be in that fighting mentality and have your alertness up. Same thing would apply if I was trying to play duos or trios. Just focusing on playing slow, winning off spawn, and then early rotating and picking up kills in late game. Now, one of the biggest things to keep in mind in early season arena is that the lobbies are going to be sweatier than the rest of the season. A lot of people get discouraged because early season arena is way tougher than late game arena. And they're like, come on, a week ago I was doing so good before arena points reset and now I'm choking. It's not you choking, it's just you playing against the much better players. And that shouldn't be discouraging. If anything, this is the time of season to improve and to be encouraged to play as much as possible. I love to take advantage, even though I'm not gaining points as fast, I love to take advantage of the competition because this is the best time to improve and the best time to learn. So you should do a lot of VOD reviewing of these fights against pro players because the early season arena will help you a lot in cash cups. That's literally what it's going to feel like, a cash cup, and you should play it that way. So now let's talk about how you can prepare for early season. If you struggle a lot with stacked endgames and you struggle to actually clutch up and get those dubs, or you're just new to arena in general, The biggest thing I recommend to prepare for early season is running 32 player zone wars. You can simply matchmake into this, it takes no time at all. What you do is press creative, you press play, you go to the far left option discover, and then you go to the practice tab and you press the 32 player zone wars option. If you're planning to play like me, that's basically all you need to do to really prepare. And on top of that, just mastering a drop spot, because all you gotta do is play the early game, rotate early to the next zones, and then play endgame. By doing that, you'll gain arena points faster than anybody else. There's gonna be a lot of people that are just gonna W key their way to champs, which is fine, but if you're trying to gain a lot of arena points this season, this is gonna be the way to play in the early season when arena games are really stacked. Other things you can be doing to prepare is just really work on your aim. Aim is so crucial in fights. Make sure your piece control is feeling really saucy, just all your mechanics are up to speed. If you have not played Fortnite in a really long time, the biggest thing I recommend right now is checking out my video called How to Get Cracked in Season 7 Fast. In that video, I give a full practice routine. It's mainly for players who haven't played in a long time or feel like they're stuck at a skill level. That video will help you get on the right track this season. Another thing you need to be doing to prepare for the new season is learning all the new stuff in the game. This means learning how to fight with and against the railgun. I have a video on that. Also, how to use the recon scanner to your advantage, such as if you're third-partying a fight, you shoot the recon scanner at the fight, looking for when they're in a 50-50, because if they're in a 50-50 and you can see that with the recon scanner, you know to jump in right away to third-party that. Or if you're fighting two people at once and you see one person healing up, you can apply pressure to that player. Learning all the new secrets will help you get ahead of the meta and be successful in the early season. A lot of people have been asking, which shotgun is the best. People comment on my video like, why are you using a lever? Isn't the lever worse? Here's how I rank the shotguns. So in my opinion, the best is the pump, second best is lever, third best is tac. But if you're on high ping, the tac might be the best option for you. It really comes down to how much you like each of these guns, how well you play with each of them. Like, the different shotguns fit different playstyles better. The reason I was using the lever so much in the early season is because you don't find a pump every single game right away, so it's important to get used to the lever if you prefer the lever over the tac. Anytime I get a tac, I just upgrade it to a lever right away. So I wanted to make sure that I practiced only with the lever for the first week of the new season. That way I'd be ready for it. Just in case I don't find a pump certain games, I can be used to the lever and still pop off with it. If you don't have any experience with the lever, then you're not going to know what to do when you get one. It does require a slightly different playstyle. For example, certain times you'll want to hipfire with the spaz, but you'd be better off aiming down your sights if you're using a lever. But overall, that's how I'd rank the shotguns. And when it comes to like a chug cannon, it's not enough to just have the chug cannon in my opinion. Especially if you're going to be in these really good lobbies in early season, you're going to want to have minis or big pots on top of that, which means you can't carry the recon scanner and the chug cannon at the same time. If you do decide to not carry extra heals on top of a chug cannon, you're definitely going to regret it, because the chug cannon can only carry 75 shield at once or 75 heals at once, and it takes a long time to recharge. So a lot of times if you get weak in a fight, you won't be able to heal up to max health, and if you get weak again, you're not going to be able to heal at all until that thing recharges. So it's stuff like that, in early season you want to be making sure you know what loot you want to carry, which guns you're the best with. That way you don't have to spend time in-game thinking about it. Your decision making is fast and you can just focus on your rotates and playing the game out. And you'll be confident with every decision that you have because you're used to the new season. So little recap, solos is the best place to gain arena points, but that doesn't mean you can't play duos and trios. Just means you'll gain points the fastest in solos most likely. On top of that, you want to be focusing all your energy on early game, rotating in mid game, and playing out late game. Most of your kills should come from early game and late game. That's the best way to maximize the amount of points you're getting. And then if you're not the best in late game, playing zone wars will help you get on the right track, and just make sure you're keeping all your mechanics up to speed, piece control, aim, all that. Hope this video helped you out. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, use code JivanTV in the item shop, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.